respectable Mr. Judge, and all students of Al-Kautsar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillahilladzi khalaqal insana fi ahsani taqwim. 'allamahul bayan. Summa sholatu wassalamu ala habibina qurrata a'yunina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam wa ala jami'i alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. First, let's thank to Allah and all praises to Him, the Lord of the world, the Creator of everything, the universe, who has given us some mercies and blessing until we can be together in this place tonight. Secondly, salawat and salam just for our Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon him, who had moved also from the bad character to the good one, from the darkness to the lightness in this world, as well as in the judgment. Okay, I'm standing here in front of you all. I would like to present my speech under the title, The Proud. The proud is the heart's illness, which infect the people, either in the work or in words. So the man who proud is always contradiction with heart's work. His heart's broke. So that in the right, he is not emphasize the sincere side, but only to get acknowledgement from other person not his God. From this case, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Fawailul lil musallin alladzina hum an salatihim sahun alladzina hum yura'un wa yamna'unal ma'un. The means worshippers who are heedless of their prayer, who only make a show of worship, yet refuse small kindness. From this verse describe that the proud will call Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wrathful. The man who make proud means he forgetted his God. For example, in worship, for that Allah is always man made proud. Our Prophet Muhammad afraid of his people because it is included in syirik asghar. Like he said, Qala Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Inna akhwafa ma akhafu alaikum syirkul asghar. Fasu'ila anhu faqala ar-riya. Something that the more terrible for me on my people is syirkul asghar. So he asked, what is syirkul asghar? The answer is the proud. Story that Umar bin Khattab radhiyallahu anhu, the person who is worship to Allah with bowed his neck. So Umar said, hey man, who has neck? Raise your neck. This is not concentrates in praying in the neck, but in heart. From explanation, above can understand that khushu is not of to be seen at the attitude when we work. Moreover, he attended somebody else knows his work. The case is happening in our society, not only in prayer work, but also in the work that related with worship to Allah, which is not understand the purpose of the worship. So that Rasulullah very fearful of this deed if penetrate through these people. From the third described that the proud is the work that can break our work. Even with the proud, we categorize a syirkul asghar, and he's fearful where Rasulullah when penetrate through these people. Finally, I would like you to forgive me if I made mistakes. I beg your pardon, and it shall be common knowledge. Thanks for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
dual teacher of IDTC at Al-Kautsar. And all my Muslim brothers in one Aqidah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. والعاقبة للمتقين فلا عدوان إلا على الظالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا وحبيبنا محمد أرسله الله رحمة للعالمين وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. My dear audiences, no proper word we say except thanksgiving to Allah for His food of blessing and guidance. So, it is time we can gather to this beautiful place. We say, Alhamdulillah. And then, peaceful and salutation may be given the son of Abdullah everlasting, Daki of Aminah, who had informed happiness to the pious people and informed sadness to the insubordinate people. We say, Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad. So, I'm standing here because I would like to present about my speech in front of you all by the title, Youth that brings alteration. My dear audiences, youth is a figure that always brings alteration. The alteration in life order of Samira is quite influenced by the role of youth. In October 1128, youth gathered all together and then took the pledge in order to tighten the unity of Indonesia. This pledge was known as Youth Pledge. All youth from all over Indonesia, from various ethnics, cultures, language, and region strove for taking the independence of nation altogether. Who doesn't know Mr. Sukarno, our first president of Indonesia? Nobody doubted him in each of his speech to encourage the youth in maintaining the independence of Indonesia. The long journey of Indonesia to the national independence show us how great the influence was regarding our nation's life. So, as the youth Muslim generation, what we have contributed to the society, nation, religion, and especially our own self, have been given an alteration. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Holy Quran, A'udhu billahi minasyaitanir rajim, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Inna Allah la yughayyiru ma biqawmin hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim. Sadaqallahul azim. The meaning is, indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala groups until they try to change themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, and my dear Muslim brothers, Dr. Yusuf Kardun said that there are three things that underlie youth as a foundation of alteration. First, youths come with brilliant brain. Second, youths have strong physical. And third, youths behave objectively. From that 3 points above, we can come to the conclusion that to bring the balance of physical alteration, youth also need to take into consideration of 3 things that underlie spiritual alteration. That first, youth need to have strong faith. Second, youth need to be always istiqomah in performing any religious service and duties. And third, youth have good manners or akhlaq hasanah. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Inna fi yadi syuban amrul ummah wa fi aqdamihim hayataha. The meaning is, all kind of communities problem are in the hands of youth, and the life of them are in the lake. So, it's about the time for Muslim youth to rise up for creating the alteration in every line of life and keeping asshole. Moreover, Islam has been besieged from all over directions. So, make our youth at the time that's full of benefits and all the good things before the coming of old age, when all our spirit will fade away. So, what are we waiting for? If we can do the alteration now, use our youth time to become the part of Islam awakening history in Indonesia. My dear audiences, I think this is all my speech in this evening. If you got some mistake, those are from me myself, and if you got some truth, those are from Allah Himself. And then, let's hope may Allah show us to the right way. Ameen, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Then let's say, Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
But remember, my brother, those Muslims who do those evil actions are the Muslims who never learn about Islam. They only get their status as a Muslim because they were born from Muslim parents. These people are only destroying the good name of Islam and only becoming the citizens. They never read Quran and learn its meaning, so they do whatever they want without thinking. its impact to themselves, to the nation, and to the religion. My brothers, we need someone who can change this horrible situation that is happening in this beloved nation. We need someone who can raise the good name of Islam in the eyes of the world. We need someone who can be the role model for all Muslims so that people will know how good Islam is. So, who else is going to be the person that I have just mentioned other than Islamic students? We are the only one can bring this country to its glory based on Islamic rules. Because we haven't talked about Islam and how to manage something perfectly and hold someone seriously. And the question is, what can we Islamic students do to develop this country? Here are some ways that I think we can do. First, learn more about Islam. Read Al-Quran and Al-Sunnah more and understand the meanings. Because the guidance for every Muslim are Al-Quran and Al-Sunnah. Second, implement all the teachings that we have learned in Islamic boarding school in every aspect of life. Teach the citizens about Islam and show them the attitude of Rasulullah SAW since he the best man ever created. Through this way, people will understand that Islam brings happiness, peace, and mercy, and not violence or war. Last but not least, after we have understood Islam perfectly and we have taught the people how Islam teaches us to live in the right way, we have to go to this level, which is leading people to the right way. We have to be the leader in every aspect of life, especially the leader in this country. Because only through this way, we can make this nation become a great Islamic civilization that is spared by its enemies. Remember, my brothers, nothing will be changed until someone changes something. As what Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala stated in the Holy Quran, A'udhu billahi minasyaitonir rajim, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inna Allaha la yughayyiru ma biqaumin hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim. Sadaqallahu alayhi. Which means, clearly, Allah will not change the situation of one tribe until they change the situation by themselves. Quran Surah 2 verse 11. Therefore, we as Islamic students play a big role in succeeding this mission. Don't wait for Indonesia because Indonesia has been waiting for you. Thank you very much. I am an Islamic student. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Al-Kautsar Islamic Modern and Boarding School. Your Majesty, the Director of Al-Kautsar Islamic Teacher Training College, and respectable the Al-Judge of Public Speaking Contest, and all our students at Al-Kautsar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Innal hamdalillah nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. May yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa may yudlilhu fala hadiya lahu. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh la nabiyya ba'da. Amma ba'du. The first, all of my loving brothers, before going on my speech in this opportunity, let's thank Allah who has given us some mercies and blessings until we can swing our hands, looking around and step our feet from respective room to this meeting tonight. And the second, salawat and salam just for our messenger and our prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, son of Abdullah, who has bring us from the darkness or our bad character unto the lightness or our good character. We say Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali sayyidina Muhammad. And the third, so allow me here, I want to sermon my speech tonight, and I want to tell you all about my speech tonight by the title, Keeping Peace and Religious Tolerance. All of my loving brothers, Indonesia is a multicultural country with first diversity including ethnicity, race, culture, language, and religions. And Indonesia is a religious country. This is proven by the first principle of Pancasila, that is belief in one supreme God. And in Indonesia, there are 6 religions of the state. There are Islam, Christianity, Catholicism, Buddhism, Hinduism, and Confucianism. And the 6 religions of this state must society with the principle of tolerance among religious believers. And Islam literally means submission, obedience, security, safety, and peace. So based on that meaning, as a Muslim in the context of national and state life, we must be able and make a sense of security to others and don't make any problem. All of my loving brothers, Islam have a context of tolerance. Do you know what is that? So listen this important thing. There is no compulsion in religions. For you, your religions, and for us, our religions. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even said in the Holy Quran, for us, for know each other, not to fight, even to kill each other. And Al-Quran said, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya ayyuhan nasi, inna khalaqnakum min zakari wa unsa, wa ja'alnakum syu'uban wa qabaila lita'arafu. Inna Allahi atqakum, Inna Allahi alimun khabir. And the meaning is, O people, indeed, we have freed you from a male and female, then we make you nation and tribes, for know each other, not to fight. Verily, the most noble in sight of Allah is the one who is the most peace. In Al-Hujurat, the part of 13. All of my loving brothers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even say in the Holy Quran, for us, for don't fight, for don't kill, and for don't make any conflict among us or among religious believers. And all of my loving brothers, and I think enough until hear my speech tonight. If you find some mistake from my speech, I beg you pardon. Akhirul kalam. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Gentlemen, before I begin my speech, I would like to thank all the audiences here, especially the committees for giving me the opportunity to deliver my speech entitled Globalization as Perfect Change. Ladies and gentlemen, nowadays, information first turns very fast. The boundaries between regions, countries, and even continents are visible. This is what globalization truly means. We are changing cultures, products, stocks, and everything happen. It is basically something that cannot be avoided. The impacts of globalization can be felt in many areas, such as economy, culture, and education. There is no limit on how much benefit we can get from this fast-track information. But of course, like everything else in this world, globalization can have two effects, positive and negative. And today, we will be discussing what we can do as a generation to optimize the potential of globalization while avoiding the negative impacts. Ladies and gentlemen, to survive in this era, we must be smart. For example, we need to learn high technologies from developed countries in order to develop our country. On the contrary, we must not imitate bad attitudes like drugs abuse. It is the fact that there are many challenges as well as potential of globalization. It cannot be denied that globalization is related with competition and ability to survive. So the question goes, what should we do to survive and play our role in this globalization era? Ladies and gentlemen, let me propose at least 3 possible actions that we can do to survive and play our role in this globalization era. The first and the most important one is building up and strengthening good characters based on origin. Understand your origin through what's good and what's bad, wrong and right. Understand the values of faith and make it as our foundation to do everything. Faith must your protection against outlets coming from globalization. Number 2, we must master technology in order to develop our country. Those who master technologies are those who let gain profits, no matter what they are. We can see Google. This company can get much money from every country and every continent all around the world. Why? Because of the technology they have. These days, leading in technology means the most in every aspect of business. Number 3, we need to develop our creativity and critical thinking, be able to watch the condition of our surroundings, analyze all the problems, and creatively find the solutions. Learn about the demands of the prisoner and try to solve it with using technology, using creativity, and learning super much, which can bring us to the high level of success. last but not least, always ready to face any kind of change. And by competition, by preparing and building our skills, we cannot deny that the world changing. Ladies and gentlemen, don't wait for Indonesia because Indonesia has been waiting for you. Thank you. This is the end of my speech. I hope you understand. Unzur ma qala wa la tanzur man qala. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.